Hi everybody, welcome to this Marvel Strike Force video. You are a G for G viewer, I am Napalm Dawn. Today we're going to take a look at a few things going on here with Marvel Strike Force in the beginning of September. We're going to discuss a tier list and also take a look at Storm, and maybe I'll actually gain Thanos in this video. I'm not too sure. We'll find out. That's going to be a mystery. So stay tuned for that. So a couple things, or at least one thing that I wanted to talk about here in the beginning of the video, is the fact that I believe that finally Fox Next has begun to get a little less greedy with its offers. I've felt some of them have been a little bit more in line lately, and I've also seen a few comments elsewhere that people feel the amount that you're getting per money is getting better, and the money that you need to spend, real life money, is actually going down a little bit. What do you think about that? I kind of agree with that statement, although I haven't really super investigated it yet. But the current offers right now, you got 3 days for a Blitz and Raid pack over here, or just a Blitz pack, for $10. Seems pretty good. 2 sets of 8 Storm Orbs for $25 a piece, so 50 to get 16. This one is up for another 16 hours. This is how you can get her early rather than going through the event. Perhaps a little bit much to go for both of them, but we'll take a look at her in this video and you can decide. As you can see, it says 1 purchase left because, yes, I admit I did go for one of them, but I don't know about 2 yet. We have a $10 energy sale over here, 1,000 energy, some gold orbs, and some other items here for $10. This one I think is really, really good. But I want to talk about the issue that I have with this offer, and actually with all the offers going on right now. An improved Mystic Gear offer for about another 2 days, with Arcane Powder, Sigils, and Vials for about $10. A gold pack for 2,400 power cores, 800k. This is about the closest I've seen to a million, and to me, I feel like I wouldn't get out of bed for a gold purchase that wasn't a million. Again, I apologize if my gold seems somewhat high. It has to do with playing since the beta, and maybe I could go a little bit more ham on my teams and spend it down. But even when I do spend it down, I somehow get lucky and it comes right back up. So, yeah, sorry about that. For another day, a $20 offer for Groot. So 45 and 45 for 20 and 20 on Groot over here. This one seems pretty good, but Groot doesn't tend to rank pretty high, and I think they know that on this one. And $20 for 45 and 45 of Kingpin. And again, there's some materials to rank them up, which is pretty cool. This is where I think people are believing Fox Next is getting better. It's not just the bios, but it's also some skill ups too. That's pretty handy. I mean, it's one thing to raise a character's level, but it's also another thing to get their star level. It's another thing to get their gear going too. Ravager Boomer for $10 at 40 each, and some of his gear. Ravager Boomers, I only really like them when I summon them from Yondu. I have no real need for the actual minion, except for, of course, Guardian and like Ravager events and stuff like that. So here is my issue with the current offers going on. This one is highly, highly tempting. I think this one is an amazing value, and this is probably one that I would recommend to a lot of people. If you get your charges during the day when you are supposed to, and by the charges I mean this right here, you're going to stack yourself a huge amount of energy. So at about 10 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to get another round, and I think that's when it kicks over to 12 hours after that. One of the things that I've disliked about mobile games since Marvel Avengers Alliance died, which was not really a mobile game but a Facebook game, is in Marvel Avengers Alliance, I actually had enough energy stockpiled that I could probably play 24 hours a day for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I have that in also Marvel Future Fight. But a lot of the other games that I play, like this, like DC Comics Legends and everything, I feel I'm severely limited by energy when it comes to it. And I miss that about Marvel Avengers Alliance, where you could just play all day, all day, all day. For like DC Comics Legends, you can, for me, I can maybe only get about 2 play sessions out of it before I have to start recharging with gems. Here, it's not too bad. You could go a little bit better, but it is very easy to run out of energy here if you're not religiously able to make it during the times of those free energy. And, you know, for me, some of them are kind of during work hours. It's a little bit hard. So I like this offer so much, but it comes right after you could pull, and it's on the same timer as the Storm one. So you sit there and you're like, all right, you know, I really do want Storm. I like mutants. I want more mutants. And we're going to look at her skills. Maybe you'll look at her skills and be like, wow, she's amazing. Or I agree with this fact that she doesn't uncharge when she goes from raid battle to raid battle. You're going to drop $25 and then you're going to scroll down and be like, damn, I see this $10 one, but I just dropped $25 on this. This is really tempting, but I don't want to spend $35 on a mobile game. $35 is like 2.5 months, almost 3 months of a WoW subscription. I mean, think of the value of 3 months of a WoW subscription compared to Storm and some energy in a mobile game. I mean, to me, it doesn't compare. However, I actually put more power or more meat behind this offer than the Storm one to make it a little bit more even with, say, the World of Warcraft sub. If you're paying by 3 months, I think WoW would dip to $13 a month, and then it would be really, really close to this offer. But this is the one that I think makes the Marvel Strike Force offer actually have a shot at comparing to the WoW one more than the Storm one. But my idea to Fox Next, if I could tell them this, would be maybe in the late teens or early 20s of a month, drop a big offer. Drop this kind of Storm offer anywhere from like 15 to 20 to 22 in a month. And then don't really have a lot of offers out there. Kind of go on a drought for a little bit. Then drop something like this. By having a little bit of scarcity, you up the value, and you don't look like you're constantly tugging at somebody's wallet. I would get this in a heartbeat if I didn't just get this. And before, maybe it teaches me to scroll through all the offers, but seeing this, I'm like, ooh, and I pulled the trigger, then I saw this and was like, shit, I would have gotten this too. But I don't really want to spend, whether I have it or not. I could be a millionaire. I could be Bill Gates. And I still would be a little thrifty and be like, do I really want to spend $35 so quickly on this game? Especially one that has been attacked for being very, very greedy in recent months. And remember the protest with the Deadpool raids and everything? So they're showing some signs of learning, but I still think they just don't understand how mobile people want to purchase. I think this offer should be very, very separated from a lot of these other offers, especially this one, because I think this one will generate a lot of income for them. It's very, very, very handy, especially if somebody wants to bank it and push right before an event like, okay, an Iron Man event is coming. Let me use my 1,000 to get shield minions or something. So, yeah, I disagree with the such good offers being so close to each other like that. So there's Storm from my first round of orbs, and I will give you guys a kind of a basis of comparison over here. So I did get that, and as we know, that is 8 orbs that they're going to give you. If we look at my orbs over here, that 8 gave me 55. So right at the last possible moment, the orbs gave me what I needed. So 8 gave me 55 out of 45. Which means if I were to pull the trigger on the offer again, wow, that is actually a pretty attractive representation of Storm. I like it. I especially like the whited out eyes. And the X-Men insignia over here. So if I was to get another round of orbs, I could probably get her to 3. So if we're going to say that my luck will be the same again, and I will get another 55, that means I would wind up with 65 out of 55. That's pretty good. So she's a hero, she's global, she's mutant, she's a controller, and of course she's an X-Man. And I gotta admit, this is an attractive Storm, to be honest. I think even with the white eyes, she's got a pretty face over here. But Shocking Blow. She attacks primary target for damage if she's charged. In addition, she attacks adjacent targets for 70% damage. Gain +1 charge up to a maximum of 5. So, she unfortunately is not a brawler, and here is why I say that. People have discovered that they can use Kamala Khan to instigate, or Miss Marvel, instigate some really, really fun combos, especially like Deadpool and some others, by having brawlers jump in. And nobody would really expect Storm to be a brawler, but that would be a really, really good way of building up those charges for her. If this was Marvel Avengers Alliance, you could definitely you would find a way of pulling that off, of making Storm assist so she gets a charge, and then when she does a Shocking Blow manually on her turn, she's charged already. So she increases her maximum charges from 5 to 10, increased damage to secondary, 15 charges, up damage, and up to 20 for her charges. So this is what they mean for raids, that she holds on to those charges. Ice Storm, attack all targets. That's a lot of energy for this. This is a hefty ability. Attack all targets for damage and a chance to apply slow. If she's charged, and again, this is where assists will come in handy, you could not waste her turn by trying to build up a charge by making her assist. So you would get the charge for free, and then you would use her turn for something like her turn for Ice Storm instead of building up charges. If charged, additionally get 10% chance to apply a stun, and then the chance to apply it is increased by charge, but then she loses charge. This, I do believe, is taking an historic point from Marvel Avengers Alliance. This really reminds me of her Protective Shroud, and then how it changed the rest of her abilities, and then she had the Ice ability in there. I think it was a Blizzard. I feel like this is I think they're taking a nod to that. So she increases her chance to slow, increases the damage, increases the chance to apply, and then 30% to all damage, 10% chance to apply a slow. So she's going to increase the damage, she's going to increase the chance to apply a slow, and she's also going to increase the chance per her charges. Storm of the Century, another hefty energy ability over here. So maybe she's going to go good with people like Captain America being her tank and feeding her a charge. People like, if we ever got Red Skull seems to throw out energy like nobody's business. And believe it or not, even Jessica. I hate saying Jessica's good for anything. I feel she's been trash in every game she's ever been in. But her ability to generate energy is probably going to be Storm's best friend. Attack all targets for 70% damage. It's increased by stack of charge, then you lose it. So she's got a typical build and expunge set of abilities, and the damage goes up along the way. Ride the Wind. On a turn, 30% chance to apply speed up to X-Men and X-Force allies. So that means, of course, Wolverine and Deadpool, and, you know, who knows what's coming down the pipe over here. So if we do X-Force, we've got Cable and Deadpool, so she would affect them. X-Men, Wolverine, and Storm. So there's a 4-part right there. So if you were to run Wolverine, Storm, Cable, and Deadpool, all you would probably need at that point is maybe Captain America. Or maybe, rather than focus on the energy, have her get a speed up from somebody like Black Widow to just make her go through her turns that much faster. But I hate to say Jessica Jones. I mean, there's some Kree who do it too, but when I think of giving energy to somebody, my brain immediately goes to Red Skull and Jessica Jones, and then I kind of proceed over to that Kree minion who does it. So that Storm, I would say you probably will have my luck in at least unlocking her for the first $25, and you could star her up with another, you could probably get her to 3 with another pack. Maybe a little risky. So before I get to the tier list, I want to see if I can get I'm so close to Thanos. I think I'm 90 out of 100 there. Oh, Infinity Orb, are you going to be nice? I need 10. I'm telling you, I'm probably not going to get it, but I need 10. And survey says no. Oh, really? Well, hopefully I get another 5 soon. Damn. I was hoping I would get lucky, but that was definitely a little bit too much to ask in one day to be able to unlock Storm with a purchase and then complete Thanos. The reason why I don't have Thanos is the first time that I could really get him, I was in a much newbier alliance that I'm in now, and we do really well, and I'm about ready to get another Deadpool orb. Yeah. Very close. A little disappointed. So my roster currently, I have my main characters, and then I have my main blitz and my main arena. So my main team is across the top over here. This is who does my high-powered raids and my arena and anything that I need high-powered tunes for. Gamora, Captain America, Yondu, Black Widow, Night Nurse. My favorite blitz team has modified itself a little bit, but the core has been Quake and Crossbones for a little while. Handsork was in there and then dropped out, and Daredevil was in there and dropped out, and a while back, Drax was in there as a tank and dropped out. This is now my blitz team of Doctor Strange, Mordo, Crossbones, Hawkeye, and Quake. We're gonna talk about Mordo when we talk about tier list, but I've had some people asking about him recently because of the offers in the game and his accessibility. I love Mordo, and I would recommend people get him. I'm gonna touch upon his abilities first, and then we'll see him on the tier list and discuss what's going on over there. But I really like Mordo, especially with Doctor Strange. So his Arcane Scourge attacks a target and has a chance to apply random negative effects. And he eventually can up the damage, and then he guarantees 2 of them later on. Mesmerize is a blind to the primary target with chances to apply blind up to 3 targets and potentially a slow. You upgrade it for a chance to apply stun instead of blind to the primary target, which, to be honest, is just about as good because somebody can still act when they're blinded and do something defensive where the blind won't matter. I actually am going to upgrade that right now. A stun is good, and then apply slow to 2 targets. Demons of Denak. This is one of the reasons why he's very good. Attack all targets for 180% damage and apply a heal block for 2 turns. It can't miss. And then one more upgrade will up the damage, and then he's maxed out. This is big. Here's why I think this is so big. Say you're in a fight with a Crossbones, and he's probably your primary target, so he doesn't Allahu Akbar all over your face. If there's some healers in there, you want to make sure your damage sticks. So Demons of Denak is essentially true damage. It means the damage that you have done working on Crossbones pretty much can't be negated. It can't be simply all healed up, thereby putting you at a deficit of maybe potentially wasting heavy hitting abilities to get Crossbones or a tank or somebody very, very important off the field, only to lose it to a very, very big heal. Demons of Denak is great for that, because it'll shut down the regenerators like Wolverine and Deadpool for 2 turns, not even at max level, and it means your damage becomes true damage, rather than an accidental passive damage. And then he has too many sorcerers, which is really good. On the death of any character, he'll sell for 5% of his max health. On the death of a mystic, he'll sell for 10 and gain ability energy. So, that means you could potentially have your own teammates even sacrifice into him. Like if you run with a bunch of mystics and your team starts dying, oh well, Mordo stays alive. And guess what? If you are running... Ooh, he became the top of my second team over here. If you're running Doctor Strange and you're running a bunch of mystics and somebody dies and feeds Mordo, guess what? You just use Winds of Watum. No, I'm sorry. I was right. It's the Book of Vishanti. You use the Book of Vishanti and you revive the ally, and then if they die again, oh well, feed me more, see more Mordo. I like these two, and this is why I bumped Doctor Strange up. And my current targets for bump up, Hansork I spent a lot of time on. I think I'm okay with where she is now, but I'm working on Deadpool, and I know this is kind of stupid. Everybody's going to go, what? I'm kind of working on Scientist Supreme for a little bit of a project. I want to work more on Rocket for really, really good AoE. Wolverine's star level is going to be amazing. He deserves some respect, but I just don't use him anymore. And then poor Winter Soldier and Scarlet Witch honestly deserve a little bit more love than they've been getting. I know my Nobu should be bumped up. I'm very, very late to the game when it comes to Nobu. Cable probably deserves some work. And Miss Marvel, when I'm done with other projects, I do think I want to get Miss Marvel up there for all the crazy brawler combos that she can do. And of course, fuck Ronan. And there's my Thanos at 95 out of 100. And here is this is my sad row over here. I guess you could say this is my saddy baddie row. So, tier list. I'm going to be working with 2 different lists over here. We're going to work with a list from Strikeforce Labs, and we're going to work with a list from PaPokemon. These are tier list 1.4, so they are about a month old at this point, but I have not been able to find a September list yet. So, tier 1 on the Strikeforce Lab is Black Widow, Captain America, Deadpool, Kingpin, Quake, Spider-Man, Vision, and Yondu. Even with Spider-Man's slight rework, I do not think he belongs up here. He's not up here over here. So there's a little bit of a dissenting opinion. Deadpool is in both. Vision, a lot of people recently have said Vision's become a sleeper character, and that they really, really like Vision, and he's very, very good. I, as of yet, haven't looked into why. I do admit I have a shortcoming when it comes to Vision and knowing why he would be so high. It's probably the offense down. Well, clearing 2 positive effects as an AoE is, of course, really, really solid. I don't think his tech bonuses are that good. You know, it's obviously his kit is what it is. You've got ability block for a minor AoE, offense down, and cleared 2 positive effects. So he's a major disruptor is what it is. I guess that warrants him being top tier, and I can understand how the toolkit would do that. Kind of makes sense. Of course, Kingpin is a major defensive force. Quake, with her very, very good AoE and her slows, she stops teams from ramping up, and then she basically removes their offense, and then she kills them with AoE. Captain America makes sense to be up here, one of the best tanks. Widow, stun, speed, buff removal. Yondu, great AoE, self-buffing, minions. Most of these to me make sense with the exception of Spider-Man. And you can maybe say that Kingpin kind of deserves to be right on the line between Tier 1 and Tier 2. And Vision, of course, is a newcomer. Over here, we have Crossbones, which I used to, in my previous videos, slam Crossbones for being considered good. I totally retract that and will definitely declare Crossbones is amazing. That's why he's on my primary Blitz team, and I will also use him in Rage anytime there's large amounts of minions. I love Crossbones now. Quake, Black Widow, Deadpool, Doctor Strange. While I don't know that he could be a primary healer because you may want to reserve his Vishanti for rezzing, in a pinch he could still heal pretty well, and of course all of his debuffs and everything work great. Captain America, Yondu, Hawkeye, the blind is good, popping stealthers out of stealth is pretty good. He also has buff removal, and when he chains on his first attack, his skill 1, he is very good. Gamora, this is a shortcoming of this list. I absolutely 100% believe Gamora should be tier 1. Don't know why she's missing over here and down here. I don't even know why it says that she should be +1 with a team. Thanos, I kind of disagree with being top tier. People thought he was kind of supposed to be a tank, and then he said, well, no, he's really not suited for that. He's just... I don't know enough about him to agree or not. Star-Lord, again, I don't really know quite enough about him. And Vision, I'm learning. Like, these two are still going to be a question mark for me after today. Vision, I believe I can learn about Vision pretty quickly on that one and figure out why. Tier 2, of course, is huge on the Strike Force Labs with Okoye, Scarlet Witch and Loki getting bump ups for teams. Scarlet Witch, I understand. If you pair her actually with Mordo and Strange, I think she'd come out very, very good. Nick Fury, Shield Assault, Star-Lord, and Thanos. See, this is kind of where I would expect them to be. But Strike Force Lab is saying, hey, there's a caveat. They could come up with a team around them. Crossbones, I don't think he needs a team to come up. I just think he needs situations to come up. So maybe they're implying that he needs a protector so that he doesn't die before he jihads all over your face. Cable, Doctor Strange, they're saying Strange is mobile. The other side is saying Strange is top. Drax is still kind of hanging in there, but I feel should be falling down a little bit lately. I just don't know that Drax is staying current. Gamora, I disagree with, should be up at the top tier. Hand Sentry, we all know about him. Iron Man has good AoE damage. Jessica Jones having a plus for team-ups really makes sense to me. However, I would maybe think of her more here at tier 3 or right around this border. Korath is a niche good person. If you absolutely positively have to get somebody to be the primary target and you don't want let anybody to dissuade you from that, Korath is good. I don't think it's that he needs a team to get better. I think it's much like Crossbones. He needs a situation to get better. Merc, Lieutenant Riot Guard, Rocket Raccoon, massive AoE, does get bonuses for Guardians, but I think, again, he could go up by himself. Like Crossbones, if you need AoE, Rocket Raccoon is a good one to go with, but yes, he does need a team to protect him because he needs to ramp up. Wasp and Winter Soldier. Over here, the tier 2 list is a little bit shorter because they gave up some people to tier 1. Here, Kingpin comes down a notch. Spider-Man comes down a notch. And then a lot stay the same except Black Panther is here, which I consider the poor man's Gamora. Iron Man, Kingpin, Loki, Nick Fury, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, Night Nurse. No Night Nurse here until tier 3. She gets the bump up over here if she's in a raid. She has become my primary team's healer in whatever they do, including Arena and Blitz. So I bump her up, but I know people don't like healers in Arena and Blitz. They just want to kill and get out. I don't have a problem with Sustain. I think Sustain is a good thing. And we're not going to go too much further down the list over here, otherwise the video will get longer. But here, they've got Miss Marvel with a plus as a team. We've talked about that. Poor Shield Medic. The Shield Op being good when you need escorts like Thor at the end of the heroes missions. Ant-Man, Mordo should not be this low, and that's why I highlighted him for a little bit. I do not think he should be tier 3. I think he should absolutely be tier 2 with maybe a nipple touching this line over here. Again, that's my opinion and the way I use Mordo, but I think it's valid to at least definitely get him out of tier 3. Whether or not you think he could tickle the edge of tier 1, tier 2, that's up to you, but I don't believe he should be this low. And over here, I think that this one had Mordo even lower. Where was Mordo on this one? Am I missing him? Am I being an idiot? There's Doctor Strange. Where's the evil goatee? There it is. Okay, I was missing it. Yeah, tier 3 over here too. Maybe my opinion's going to be unpopular, but I believe he should be higher. And in one of my Marvel Strike Force Facebook groups, there's been a very big thread of how Baron Mordo is underrated and should be higher. Bullseye, Elektra, these guys have fallen from grace a little bit. Hand Assassins, Hand Sork. She could be right at this border because not only does she apply a heal but a defense up. So she's probably one of the better healers for, say, Crossbones and maybe Rocket Raccoon, like keeping him alive. Hulk. I avoid playing teams in Arena and Blitz with Hulk because he just is obnoxious and he gets in the way. Hydra Troops. Kree Noble, I kind of agree with. Kree Noble's got some interest. Poor Nobu's fallen flat from the beta when summons were more. I'm still surprised to see Nobu this far down, although it does say he gets a plus with the team. Punisher is where he should be. Luke is where he should be. Night Nurse, I still think should be up here, but okay. Ultimus, I don't really have the data on. Wolverine, he's for the flagship X-Man, he didn't do as well. In Marvel Future Fight, as one of the flagship X-Men and mutants, he does very, very well. In this game, he's okay. But the other video I'm going to do tonight is what if Blade was in the Marvel Strike Force, and I think that could give Wolverine a plus to team. But you'll have to watch a different video for that. And then notable scrubs, Groot, the AIM monstrosity, Iron Fist. Poor Iron Fist has not been the same since he died out in Marvel Avengers Alliance. And my weak-ass Scientist Supreme that I said I was trying to do a project on. Over here, Cable. We're going to highlight Cable here in Tier 2. He should maybe get a plus for team, like if he's with Deadpool, maybe he bumps up a notch. Mordo should move up a notch. And this team doesn't really break it down into raids or PvP, it just ranks them. Here's Hulk. Wolverine. Groot is higher over here. Bullseye, the Shield Op, some Merc minions, some Hydra minions. There's that Kree Noble. Poor shitty Iron Fist, and of course Scientist Supreme and Ronin. I think maybe I can get some value out of Scientist Supreme. And here's the thing that I wanted to mention that you might be like, dude, you are wasting your breath telling me about Scientist Supreme. And so this was it. One random negative effect. Attempt to convert 2 negative effects on allies into positive effects. 50% chance to convert each negative effect into a positive. So she's flipping negatives on you. She's protecting your team. And then she could always convert it. She's a healer. Heal all allies for health. All allies and enemies will receive 1 to 2 random negative effects. So you heal first and then use field trials to flip it. And she has a chance to revive people. So I'm thinking with Mordo, Strange, and Scarlet Witch, she'd be really good. And I will explain about Scarlet Witch. So, Hex Bolts, random negative effects. Warp Reality. Redistribute your total health. So, she can heal in a pinch while Scientist Supreme gets up and running. And if you want to kind of fix your team, but leave the negative effects in place for Scientist Supreme, Scarlet Witch can do it. Chaos Wave. Attack all enemies for piercing damage. Plus each target has 2 negative effects that are prolonged. It's unavoidable. So, and 10% chance to spread a negative effect from an enemy with a negative effect to an adjacent. This will not spread stun. Here's the deal. I think Scientist Supreme, along with Mordo and Doctor Strange, are massive setups for Scarlet Witch. And a lot of it makes sense over here. You have a bunch of mystics. You have 3 mystics to feed Mordo. A healer that can maybe make it so that Doctor Strange can save his heal to be a res instead of a heal. You have Scarlet Witch also setting up a quote-unquote heal. And then, you know, just pick a decent tank or maybe an offensive-minded tank like, say, Drax or Crossbones. You could probably have Crossbones be your primary tank when you have so many people behind him helping him. You might say, well, where's the damage? I don't think this is a knockout group. I think it's a sustained group. Could be fun. Probably would be a large failed experiment, but Mordo's blind, I think, is absolutely underrated. Doctor Strange is level 1, and Mordo's level 1 is good. It's not Gamora good after her flying slash or anything like that, but I think it could be a fun team, and maybe not a team we would put up against the highest content in the world, but potentially a fun team and fun experiment. For Miss Marvel, Deadpool, so it's heroes and brawlers is what it is. So Miss Marvel, or Kamala Khan as we really should call her, she likes brawlers, but she likes brawlers who are heroes. So she's going to bring Iron Fist into the mix, Deadpool, and really Gamora. This is the combo that everybody's loving, is Miss Marvel along with Gamora. Also Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, Gamora, Deadpool, and Miss Marvel are probably the biggest things that you could do. The thing is, they have to be heroes. So anybody over here that is a villain, like, say, Elektra, isn't going to cut it. But if they're a hero and they're a brawler, they're really good. Now, we have Wolverine, and I think in my next video, I'm going to highlight something that'll really help Wolverine out. And that is, what if Blade was in Marvel Strike Force? So, guys, I'm going to wrap it up over here. There is the August tier list. Yes, in September, but it's the most recent tier list. A look at Storm and some other characters. If you do want to go for Storm, I think she could be really good. And hey, she could maybe do for offense in raids what Night Nurse does for defense and sustain. So, happy trails, everybody. Let me know what you think of the video and the topics I discussed, and let me know your luck with Storm. I'd love to hear it if it's close to mine. See you, everybody.